Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue on with Grace's Posthumous Wish. I think this one was the one where I was on. And just like that, the day's visiting hours go flying by. So in the last video, we saw Fuyumi's memory, and Senpai showed me his balls. That was very fun. And then we got to meet Mitsuki again before she died. So Senpai turns out to be so amazing that he effortlessly melts the ice of awkwardness between us, and I find myself feeling eager with anticipation for their next visit. I did fall, crack my head, and almost die. That did happen. The lucky colors for today are white, the lucky color object is a postcard, and the lucky number is 25. Senpai sits next to me on a chair and talks about every little thing he saw outside the hospital. Without his stories, I would have died of boredom. Even books are banned for me because of headache attacks. Books are banned? What is this, Fahrenheit 451 or Fahrenheit negative 451 from the temperature outside? There's nothing more romantic than a snowy Christmas. Senpai cheerfully shakes his head. Who would have thought? You have a shred of romance in you after all. Why the surprise? Like any young lady, I love bright lights, warm scarves, and hot cocoa. Women, am I right? Always liking bright lights, warm scarves, and hot cocoa. And you believe in ghosts. It's trendy to believe in them now, so why not? What do you mean? You believe in them because it's trendy to believe in them? That doesn't sound very romantic. Do you have a boyfriend, Mitsuki? I'm sure Mitsuki has admirers lining up for her. There's no way she doesn't. She really knows how to carry a conversation, her grades are excellent, and she's more than willing to help a complete stranger. She's probably a great cook as well. The ideal girlfriend, but she shakes her head. Alas, Fuyumi, I don't. Naturally, since you ignore all love letters and confessions, including mine. Tell me all about it, Mr. Popular. My breath catches in my chest as I feel a seedling of fear set in my heart. Is Senpai dating someone? Why does that possibility frighten me? Apparently, my emotions come out clearly on my face given the cryptic way Mitsuki smiles at me. Senpai, how dare you? I thought those balls were only for me. No, I'll be all alone for Christmas as well. That's depressing. A charming blush touches his cheek. We're like a club of desperate loners. Okay, speak for yourself. You're the only person I know who could so easily make light of our sad situation. Oh, you flatter me. I laugh as I feel a sense of relief wash over me. Have you signed your Christmas cards yet? I don't feel like continuing the topic of couples and love, so I try to steer the conversation in a different direction. Senpai immediately comes to my aid as he decides to ramble on about the hassle of dealing with endless New Year cards. In response, Mitsuki teases and prods him in a way that only friends could. Looking at how cheerfully and casually they are chatting, I realize that I myself have never talked to anyone with such ease. Is this what friendship looks like? It's even better than I'd ever imagined. My past now seems bleak and painted in pale, lifeless gray. Why hadn't I noticed before that I was living in such a dull world? In a way, Senpai and Mitsuki saved me twice. And even if I knew what was going to happen to us next, would I have changed anything? Today's lucky color is red. The lucky object, glasses. The lucky number, 3. I can't see without my glasses. Lying in my hospital bed, talking with the two of them, I discovered new emotions, new feelings, and even new nuances to human behavior I never knew could exist. Everything in my life begins to feel brand new, and it's all surprisingly pleasant. It comes naturally to me to hold faith that Mitsuki would never betray me. And Senpai, the stoic composure I'd prided myself on for so long, shatters to bits the very moment Senpai so much as looks at me. My face starts burning, my throat treacherously makes incoherent nonsense, my hands stop obeying me. I never know what to do with them. I have never experienced anything like it, and yet the storm of feeling seems more pleasant than burdensome. Warmth swirls in my chest at the thought of Senpai. I hope one day he'll tell me his name. Well, time to go. He's about to get up, but pauses when he notices that Mitsuki remains standing by the window. Mitsuki? But she doesn't move, even though they usually leave together. Senpai and I exchange curious glances, meanwhile Mitsuki winks conspiratorially at me. I'd like to have a chat with Fuyumi in private. Senpai blinks his eyes a couple of times before a sly grin stretches across his handsome face. Girl talk? Exactly. Sometimes I feel like a third wheel to you two. You wouldn't get it anyway. How rude. Don't tempt your fate. What if you hear something you shouldn't? But instead of answering, he only waves goodbye and leaves the room. Mitsuki takes her usual bedside seat. She sits motionless for a few moments, her pale face folded in her lap, then looks straight into my eyes. Are you going to confess to Senpai? I almost jump on the bed in shock. What is she talking about? Noticing the genuine confusion on my face, Mitsuki frowns discontentedly. It's as plain as day that you've got a crush on him. What is she talking about? Me? And Senpai? Blood rushes to my face. I probably flare up like a torch. Mitsuki shakes her head contentedly. I knew it. Don't suffer. Admit it already. But how can I? Mitsuki lets out a heavy sigh. Listen to me carefully, Fuyumi. You like Senpai. He without a doubt likes you. Why don't you two stop screwing around and admit it to each other? I don't know. Get it together, Fuyumi. Otherwise, your only chance will be gone before you know it. But I don't suit him. These glasses and me and him. I'm such a nerd with these glasses. I'm left completely dismayed. The former collected Fuyumi has evaporated. Now in her place sits a ridiculous creature, red as a tomato and mumbling pathetic excuses under her breath. I'm such a nerd, I can't go out with such an Adonis of a creature. Mitsuki abruptly stands up and takes off my glasses. Senpai doesn't care about that kind of nonsense, and if you don't like something, make an effort to change it. You must be strong, Fuyumi. Indecisive and weak people are always left with nothing. And she just leaves like that? Having said the strange phrase, she leaves. I'm completely dismayed. I like Senpai? Question mark? Senpai likes me? Question mark? A new wave of heat surges to my cheeks. The more I think it over, the more convinced I am that Mitsuki is right. Or the untreated brain fever that you have from falling on the sidewalk has started to take hold. There is no other explanation. I'm in love with Senpai. I'm head over heels for him. I decided to come clean on Christmas Eve. I'm pulsing with anxiety, but I know that the sooner I speak the truth out loud, the sooner the heaviness will go away. That is until Mitsuki takes your boy. Today's lucky color black, the lucky object daffodil, the lucky number 0. For the first time, Senpai and I are alone in the room. He's talking about his school life and the upcoming exams as usual. I'm sitting, clutching the edge of the blanket in my hands, unable to grasp the meaning of his words. I have to say something before I chicken out. So I'm not quite as good at history, but not as bad at Mitsuki is at math. Senpai. What's the matter? You're making a weird face. He smiles as he always does in a friendly, teasing way. My heart jumps to my throat. He's so close, closer than ever before. He's like less than a meter away, and yet at the same time he's so far away. Senpai, My heart is beating at a frantic pace. Another second and it's going to explode. I know what you want to say, but I'm gay. I'm sorry, Fuyumi. I understand your feelings. If you really want this, I'll listen. Senpai becomes very serious. This isn't how I imagine a romantic confession. I like you. Would you go out with me? Senpai takes a deep breath and resolutely lowers his head in front of me in a half bow. Forgive me, I can't be with you. I feel like a knife has cut off my thoughts. All I can do is stare dumbly at Senpai and flap my eyelashes. I'm at a complete loss for what emotions I'm feeling. I'm sorry, I know it's hard for you. If you want, we'll never see each other again. What the fuck? What? No! I know it's selfish, but I personally hope that we could remain friends. Tears come to my eyes. I hurriedly put my glasses back on. Yeah, of course, you're right. I value our friendship very much too. Thank you for listening to what I had to say. If you don't mind, gently like the most fragile treasure, he squeezes my hand and puts something in it. Could you throw this away from me? Whoa, I thought that said die. I thought he was like, well, I was gonna make a joke about him putting like a candy wrapper in my hand and saying like, I ate this earlier, could you throw this away from me? And then he just leaves. My Christmas present to you. Sorry it's so lame. But this is your lucky... I'd love it for it to bring you good luck too. I know you don't believe in all these vague things, but don't throw it away, okay? Senpai turns away. Merry Christmas, Fuyumi. Happy holidays, Senpai. He leaves, carefully closing the door behind him. I'm left sitting in an empty hospital room. There isn't a single rational thought left in my head, as if they are mourning my broken heart. What? How? Why? My body is paralyzed, just like back then in the alley. Even the tears have dried up. But the last time Senpai saved me, now I'm alone and no one will come to my aid. What good are feelings if they bring so much pain? Today's lucky color, red. The lucky object, hair clip. The lucky number 2. I wonder, hopefully I didn't have to keep track of all the numbers and stuff like that. I managed to come to my senses only the day after Christmas. The failed confession now seems terribly stupid. A boy rejected me, big deal. Why did I behave like my life has lost all meaning? Now I'm ashamed of my senseless and stupid behavior. Coffee break? Mitsuki, who came alone this time, is sitting on a chair with a detached look. We're both silent. Forgive me. For what? I didn't think Senpai would reject you. Mitsuki is more gloomy than ever. It's the first time I've ever seen her like this. It's not your fault. No, it is. I spurred you on. Somehow I was sure your feelings were mutual. I should have minded my own business. It's fine, you were right. It was for the best that I'd gotten it all out. Even if I'd have known that he would reject me, and now... Now what? Do I feel better? Am I really more at peace than before I'd confessed to him? Can I honestly say I'm happy with the way things turned out? No, never. I feel terrible. It's agony. I clenched the dice he'd given me tightly. Mitsuki understands everything from my expression. She lets out a heavy sigh. I don't know if this would make you feel better, but you're not alone in this. Wow, that's news to me. Why did that sound so sarcastic? Is there someone you like? Yes, there's the boy. He's in the class next to mine. He keeps showing his balls to anybody who passes by. This revelation is so shocking that I even forget about the turmoil raging inside me. And he rejected you? You? I haven't confessed to him yet. Ironic, considering how I'd been pushing you recently. Why not? I'm almost 100% sure he'd reject me. From all that it seems, he already has a girlfriend. I don't have a chance, not by any stretch. I genuinely feel sorry for Mitsuki. Besides, she and I are in the same boat. Caught in the same hopeless situations. Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. I no longer look up at Mitsuki in admiration. Now I share her pain as an equal. I'd hope that at least in your case it would work out, if only I'd known. It's fine, what's done is done. We fall silent, but it's not an awkward silence that would make any onlookers pity us. We've become good enough friends that we can both comfortably share quiet moments together. Maybe. Come visit me on vacation when you get out of the hospital? I nod happily. That's right, guys. It's just as easy as falling, tripping over your head, and almost dying so that you can make some friends. That's how easy making friends is. Soon I'm discharged. My stay in the hospital wasn't very long, but everything that happened makes it seem like years have passed. It's so weird standing in my room, seeing my parents' faces. Thinking about having to go back to school after New Year's Eve to people who will never be my friends. What the... Oh my god. Everything looks so differently. No, not like this. I've become a completely different person. And this person can't help but think about Senpai. Today's lucky color, green. The lucky object, dice. The lucky number, 3. The new me doesn't waste time and at the first opportunity invites Mitsuki to visit. For a while we discuss holidays and New Year's Eve, but very soon the conversation turns to the topic that we both care about. The economy. I love the feeling of our cohesion. Okay. H. Damn! That's a great fit. I don't know about me. I might be wearing like a, Victorian outfit. But Mitsuki looks like she's going out to a ball, like she's an assassin. How's it going with you and Senpai? Mitsuki asks with seeming calmness, but I notice her eyes narrowing slightly. I received a postcard from him. We texted each other for a few times, but that's it. Looks like he isn't comfortable talking with me after all. Why is he going like this? If only we went on a date, I bet he would have changed his mind. Perhaps. Ugh. Love can't be forced, eh? Just like I couldn't bring myself to like Shamrock despite its popularity. Something in my words makes me and Mitsuki freeze. It seems we've got the same idea. Since we're discussing this, I'm the first to break the silence as Mitsuki is hesitating for some reason. Gloomy expression still lingers on her face. You know about them, right, Mitsuki? Love spells? Yes, of course. Why don't we give it a try? What do we have to lose? I can't believe such a phrase has escaped my lips. The former me wouldn't have left one stone standing of this idea, so crazy and unreliable. It's as if the moment Senpai gave me his lucky dice, I began to believe in subtle matters. Seriously, why not give it a try? We won't hurt anyone, and if it doesn't work, so be it. Yeah, love spells. Not hurting anybody ever. Yeah, it might not work. I can't just sit and do nothing. I need to blow off energy. We really don't lose anything, except our souls. She runs her fingers across the surface of the table in an uncertain gesture. Then let the fate decide. I pull out the dice given to me by Senpai. Even number, and we're going to try a spell. Odd, settle down and watch the new episode of A33. What the hell is A33? Deal. I walk over to the table and roll the dice. Am I expecting some certain result? Doubtful. My thoughts are confused, filled with doubt and nervousness. However, when the dice stops showing the number 3, I feel a giant wave of disappointment. Well, what does it say? In a quick motion, I lightly poke the dice. Fuyumi, no! No, Fuyumi! 4 it seems. Fate allows us to take a risk. Well then, that's what we're going to do. Kya! That's the sound she made. Alone, I lack the resolve to do it, but with Mitsuki, so calm and reliable, sky is the limit. We say goodbye to each other. I promise to look online for a spell. Mitsuki simply nods. Naturally, love spells are foolish and frivolous stuff, just a way to distract myself and have a little fun. Senpai isn't going to fall in love with someone just like that without a single reason. And yet, there is hope in my chest, and I clutch the dice until it hurts. I spend the entire evening researching relevant articles on Shamrock. Many spells are immediately discarded as it's obvious that they were composed for fun, not results. Some look more or less adequate. For some reason, I keep stumbling upon an article titled 3 Nights with a Dead Lover. I think that's against the law? It sounds like a title of a ladies' novel, but something about this lover intrigues me. Who is the dead lover? What caused his death? Why 3 nights? I give other less popular sites a search as well, but my thoughts keep returning to that mysterious dead lover again and again. No matter how skeptical I am, I have to admit that I get the feeling that it's a sign from above. Lucky color for today, blue. The lucky object, smartphone. The lucky number 3. The next day comes. I wait for Mitsuki's arrival, burning with excitement. She even freezes for a second, caught off guard by my zeal. I'm sure we can do it, look. I instantly find the article about the dead lover on my smartphone. It's like he wants us to read about him himself. The ideal option. Mitsuki takes my phone. The dead lover is a character from a popular urban legend. The gist of the legend is simple. A handsome young man, madly in love with his girlfriend, died because of an accident. Instead of mourning for her dead lover, the girl quickly found another. Since then, the dead lover has been punishing those whose love he finds wanting, and does his best to aid those who are beautifully faithful. Therefore, only people who are completely sure of their feelings seek his help. Mitsuki breaks away from reading for a second. Rather banal, don't you think? I feel a twinge of irritation as I hear her statement. Like any other urban legend, but that's not the point, Mitsuki, read on. She snorts. Usually the dead lover helps lovers unseen, but there's a way to request his patronage directly. Then the object of your passion will definitely reciprocate. But first you have to prove to the lover that your feelings are true. If he finds them wanting, he will become angry, remembering his unfaithful girlfriend, and take revenge. Sounds scary. I don't understand what she's afraid of. Is love ever not sufficient? Then it isn't love and there's no point in using magic or spells. In order for a girl to summon the lover, she has to first apply pink lipstick to her lips. Use the same lipstick to draw a silhouette of a man on a window pane. Second, take a photo of the target to be put under the spell and paint over their face with the very same lipstick. Having done that, remain awake for 3 nights in a row and pay close attention to the silhouette. If the lover responds, his silhouette begins to loom in the window and the drawn figure drawn figure gradually erases itself. All 3 nights, the lover tests the feelings of the person who summoned him. In the case of success, the spell works as effectively as possible. The bewitched person will begin to love you more than anyone else in the entire world. They will no longer have desires for anyone else but you. It is possible to interrupt the ritual. To do this, spend one of the 3 nights in another room. Seeing this, the lover will realize that his services are no longer desired and he will take his leave. However, it is not advisable to interrupt his trials once they have begun. God knows what the consequences for failure will be. Interesting, but I'm going to make it to the end no matter how the lover tests me. Stay awake for 3 nights. Are you serious, Fuyumi? What if you sleep during the day? Well, does that still work? Does that still count? We can sleep? Oh, she thought of the same thing. She's a genius. I don't think it's going to be a problem. So you want to summon the lover together? There weren't any rules against doing that. We'll paint it on the window in my room, wait at night, and sleep during the day. Piece of cake. The ease of the spell involving the lover is one of the main reasons why I'm so entranced by it. So, here's the thing. She might be in love with Senpai, right? Not confirmed, but it is likely. She's obsessed with him. She might also love him, but then what might end up happening is that because she brings her along, the lover tests both of them and then they're both cursed. So she basically cursed Mitsuki, or she finds out that Mitsuki loves Senpai and then she, goes crazy because of it. There's no need to leave the house, gather someone's hair or nails, steal or put an object down at a doorstep. All that needs to be done is to sit in front of my window for 3 consecutive nights. A small price to pay for my beloved to reciprocate my feelings. Almost like it's too good to be true. Mitsuki seems hesitant. But how exactly will he test us? That detail is strangely absent. It doesn't matter. Have you heard of Jeopardy? He's gonna test us with a bunch of categories and we have to say the correct question. You aren't going to change your mind, are you? After hearing this, I realized the simple truth. I won't change my mind no matter what Mitsuki says. The story of the dead lover has captivated me. I'm going to do it no matter what, with or without a partner, and as soon as possible. Okay. And that's how I died. Today's lucky color pink, the lucky object lipstick, the lucky number 3. We've decided to commence with the ritual the following night. Everything goes surprisingly smoothly. New Year's vacation has just begun and my parents are away at work again. I print a photo of Senpai stored on my phone. I go to my parents' room and pick up a tube of my mom's lipstick. She won't even notice that anything has changed. My parents never notice anything. My heart is pounding with anticipation. I can't believe that in just 3 days, Senpai will be mine and mine alone. Kya. I can't wait for tonight. Finally, Mitsuki arrives. We have dinner, go up to my room, and start preparing for the summoning of the dead lover. First, we apply the pink lipstick to our lips. It's the first time I've ever used makeup. Yet another new sensation that thrills me to the core and makes the world blaze bright with color. Looking at my reflection in the mirror, I see a girl capable of making Senpai's heart race. Leagues above that dumb, timid girl who sat mute in the hospital bed and capable of stringing together more than 2 words at a time. Mitsuki doesn't seem any different at first glance, and it involuntarily gives me a feeling of superiority. The next step. I draw a head on the window pane, then a shoulders, an illusion of the person approaching the window and looking in. Except my room is on the 2nd floor and it doesn't have a balcony. It looks both creepy and funny. Mitsuki looks at my masterpiece with a slight sneer. I hope this will be enough. I don't think ghosts are the type to be so picky about such petty issues. He'll be testing our love, not our artistic abilities. I don't want to disappoint him. What if he takes offense and doesn't show? Then this ghost is a dime a dozen. A good ghost is hard to find, am I right, ladies? I shake my head disapprovingly and pull a picture of Senpai from the nightstand. He stands against the wall of my hospital room with a glow of joy about him. A dazzling smile shines on his face. My heart brims with tenderness when I look at it. Oh shit, alas, this enchanting smile has to be covered over with the glossy pink of the lipstick. Senpai's head turns into an amorphous pink splotch. There's something creepy about it, but I don't understand what exactly. Mitsuki meanwhile pulls out a picture of the boy she's going to put under the spell. Bursting with curiosity, I peer over her shoulder. Oh, it's not Senpai. Standing in the photo is a blue-eyed guy dressed in a plain sport uniform. Mitsuki had taken a picture of him while he was playing soccer. The boy's frown seems a little plain. He doesn't hold a candle to Senpai, but I don't want to upset Mitsuki. How did you two meet? Oh, he went walking over the glens. Mitsuki turns to me, holding the picture to her chest and becoming gloomy for a moment. But right after that, she smiles. There was fog in the air, and love was just behind. He's my friend's older brother. Sometimes he and I cross paths when I go to her house. Huh, I see. Mitsuki's love story turned out to be surprisingly trivial. I was expecting a long story about childhood friends or how he once saved Mitsuki from bullies. Like Mr. Darcy walking over the moors, something at least similar to Senpai and I. Lady, you fell over, hit your head, and then this guy came to your room, to your hospital room, because he was worried about you. That's not much better. Mitsuki paints the boy's face with lipstick. The movements of her hands are quick and confident. Yeah, soon, very soon. Feeling a bout of antsy energy, I approach the window where the lover's silhouette is painted and stare out. A sickle of the wanting moon adorns the cold, cloudless sky. Waning moon. I was about to say that's a very poetic phrase, and then I realized that I misread it. It seems both near and far at the same time. My gaze dials back to the pink outline on the glass. He's just like the moon. The spirit of a dead young man that's neither truly here nor there, far from this world and yet a part of it. Only those he chooses can meet him and have the chance to touch his ghostly apparition. It's exhilarating. I'm drowning in anticipation for the night to come. I guess I'm just crazy. Mitsuki turns off the lights. We sit on the bed and stare out the window. At first, I'm unable to discern anything in the dark of the room. Gradually, the furniture takes on a familiar shape and the outline of the lover's head and shoulders shows on the glass. I clutch the edge of my sweater in anticipation. Mitsuki breathes quietly beside me. We keep our eyes fixed ahead. An electronic clock sits on the nightstand across from us. It reads 1:30 in the morning. My nerves are so bundled up that I feel completely alert. Mitsuki, on the other hand, occasionally rubs her eyes and yawns. So she doesn't take the spell seriously after all. Ha. What's the matter? No, nothing. Fuyumi? Yeah? Aren't you afraid? Of course I'm not afraid. I'm looking forward to the lover's arrival. I'm not you? Mitsuki shivers. I don't trust dark forces, Fuyumi. There's too much evil in our world as it is. Then why'd you agree to this? Except it comes from people, not some another world. What do you mean? We don't know what lurks inside us, what dark secrets our hearts hold, and we don't know if we can overcome them. And yet we're trying to contact some evil outside of us in addition to managing what we already have inside of ourselves. Isn't that a little presumptuous? I don't understand. She doesn't even believe in the spell, so what's with all this pompous talk about evil? Or is what Mitsuki's saying just her being influenced by the gloomy atmosphere? I hope everything's going to be alright. Having doubts? I just have a bad feeling about this. Her fear and mistrust come as an unpleasant surprise. In the end, even though Mitsuki and I are bound together by the same misfortune, there is actually a chasm separating us. I fix my gaze on the rudimentary painting of the lover. As I admire him, I feel my irritation morph into joyful anticipation. This lady is actually insane. Silence. We sit in complete silence. The only thing that breaks that silence is the sound of our breathing. 120, 230, 45. Where is he? I'm getting drowsy as well. My eyelids weigh heavy. I yawn so wide that it stings my jaw. Oh, I guess someone's not into this ritual as well. Mitsuki ruffles up a pillow in an attempt to stay awake. 3:33. Oh shit. Mitsuki and I hold each other's hands firmly. I share in her trembling. He's there. Also, there's a Anochorus root. The silhouette that had been drawn on the window fills with black color. It's no longer simply an outline of a figure. Now it is a full-fledged being standing at the window. His head bobs slightly from side to side, peering at the contents of the room. The figure feels cold, and I expect him to bring the musty odor of a grave or rotting flesh with him. However, my nostrils are tickled by an airy, sweet scent. The contrast is so bizarre that it's repulsive. This isn't a joke, right? No mere mortal can come to my window. My room is on the second floor, and we haven't invented ladders yet. And we certainly aren't imagining it. There's no way we could be. The drawing has indeed become a person, or a dream. Quite possible, but when did reality end and the dream begin? Everything is just like it was while we were awake. I feel Mitsuki's warmth next to me. My legs feel a little stiff. A yawn is lodged in the back of my throat. Struggling, I look away from the black figure. The room hasn't changed one bit. The clock blinks in time, displaying its bright light-colored numbers. Every piece of furniture is clearly visible in the darkness. I can even count the numbers of textbooks on the desk. A dream couldn't be this vivid. I'm not dreaming, and the dead lover is real. I clutch Mitsuki's hand more tightly. It's him, right? It's definitely him. Yes. Mitsuki's voice is quiet and tense. He really came. He came to us. What now? I don't know. The lovers will test our feelings, but how? I haven't thought about that. Maybe he'll ask us tricky questions, then we'd better choose our answers carefully. There's a sharp smack on the glass. Mitsuki and I jerk backward in horror and our backs press against the wall. The black silhouette doesn't move, but a hail of blows rains down on the glass. What does he want? Mitsuki is angry. She quickly gets off the bed onto the floor. She is about to head for the window, but suddenly the pounding stops. Mitsuki freezes. I carefully approach her. So what now? She shakes her head uncertain. The dead lover isn't moving, but he doesn't stand still either. He seems to turn his head, first towards Mitsuki, then towards me. Is he studying us? Testing? If this is the test, Mitsuki was worded for nothing. It's silly, not scary in the least. I decide to say something, but at the same time another blow comes. Oh shit. The black figure still isn't moving. I fix my gaze on it and don't immediately notice two curled hands crawling across the glass on the other side of the window. Their knotted fingers move silently, as if warming up for a game of rock, paper, scissors. You're telling me that I have to play rock, paper, scissors against a ghost? That's so unfair.